This NAS is exactly what you need if you want a reliable, expandable storage server that can handle backups, media streaming, and even light virtualization without breaking the bank. But let me explain why. If you've been shopping for a network-attached storage solution, you've probably noticed that most NAS boxes feel underpowered or overpriced. The Synology DiskStation DS1821 Plus changes that. It's not the cheapest 8-bay unit out there, but it's one of the few that gives you enterprise-grade performance in a small office package. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's start with the heart of the machine, the AMD Ryzen V1500B Quad-Core CPU running at 2.2 GHz. That might not sound like a lot compared to a desktop chip, but in NAS terms it's a game changer. I've used this unit to run Plex 4K streams, Time Machine backups for 3 Macs, and even a couple of Docker containers for ad blocking and file indexing all at the same time without a single stutter. The 16GB of DDR4 RAM that ships with it, expandable to 32GB, keeps everything snappy, so you're not waiting for the box to catch up every time you open a folder. Storage flexibility is where the DS1821 Plus really shines. You get 8 drive bays, and Synology supports everything from budget 3.5-inch HDDs to blazing fast 2.5-inch SSDs. I swapped in 8 10TB WD Red Plus drives and set up Synology Hybrid RAID, which lets me start small and expand later without reformatting. If you ever need more space, you can add an expansion unit or just swap in larger drives, no data migration headaches. The included 8TB SSD storage option is perfect if you want a fast cache drive for your media library, cutting load times in half compared to spinning Rust. Synology's DiskStation Manager, DSM, operating system is the secret sauce. It's a full Linux-based GUI that feels more like a desktop than a server dashboard. You get one-click apps for backups, surveillance, VPN, and even a built-in photo manager that rivals Google Photos. I set up automated backups for my photography client files, and the versioning feature has saved me more than once when a client accidentally overwrote a project. The iSCSI target support is handy if you need block-level storage for virtual machines or a dedicated database drive, something you won't find on most consumer NAS boxes. Reliability is another big win. Synology has been in the NAS business for over 2 decades, so the hardware and firmware are battle-tested. The DS1821 Plus runs whisper quiet thanks to Synology's fan control, and the metal chassis keeps everything cool even when you're pushing it hard. I've had mine running 24/7 for over a year with 0 crashes or drive failures, and that's the kind of uptime you want when your business, or even just your family photos, are on the line. On the downside, the DS1821 Plus isn't a plug-and-play appliance. You'll need to install your own drives and RAM, which can be a hurdle if you're not comfortable cracking open a case. Synology's official RAM is pricey, so I ended up buying third-party DDR4 sticks that met the specs. Just make sure you double-check the compatibility list. Also, while the Ryzen chip is powerful, it's not built for heavy virtualization. If you're planning to run multiple VMs simultaneously, you'll want to max out the RAM and stick to lighter workloads. All that said, the DS1821 Plus is still one of the best all-around NAS units you can buy today. It's fast enough for most small businesses, flexible enough to grow with you, and reliable enough to keep your data safe. If you need a storage server that can do more than just hold files, this is the one to get. Check the link below if you want to see the current price and specs. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Synology DiskStation DS1821 Plus NAS server for business with Ryzen CPU, 16GB memory, 8TB SSD storage, DSMOS, iSCSI target ready sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like Synology DiskStation DS1821 Plus, made for a variety of server roles, and Ryzen V1500B Quad-Core 2.2 GHz 4MB CPU, 16GB DDR4 PC4-21300 actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off.